Welcome to lesson 10-8. In this lesson, we are going to solve addition problems using different strategies. Open your book to page 429. Let's read the green speech bubble at the top of the page. It says, a puzzle has 59 green pieces and 25 orange pieces. Solve 59 plus 25 to find how many pieces in all. Use any of the strategies you have learned. Pause the video while you take a minute to answer this question on your own.
Here is how I solved the problem. I solved it in two different ways, so I'm going to show you both ways. Here is the first way I solved the problem. So the problem is 59 plus 25. So what I did first was I drew out a model of 59 and of 25. Here's my 59. I showed 5 tens, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tens, and 9 ones. For 25, I showed 2 tens and 5 ones. In order to solve this problem, I decided to make groups of 10. So I didn't have to do anything with my tens that were already in tens, but I looked at the ones and looked to see if I could make a group of tens or a group of 10 out of the ones. I knew that if I had a 9 over here, all I needed to do to make another group of 10 was just take one of the ones from the 5s because 9 plus 1 equals 10. So I borrowed a 1 from this group of 5 and I made a group of 10 with these 9 over here. So this is my other group of 10 that I made out of the ones. So then I knew that I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of 10. I'll write that right here to show it. I had 8 groups of 10. And how many ones? 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 ones. So 8 groups of 10. My 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 groups of 10 and 4 ones, then I knew that my answer was 84 because 8 groups of 10 is the same as 80. So I knew that my answer was 84. So that's one way I solved it. Here is another way that I solved the problem 59 plus 25. What I did was I broke each of the numbers apart into tens and ones. So first I looked at the ones in each of the numbers. The ones in each of the numbers. So that's 9 and 5. And I added those together. I added 9 plus 5. I know that 9 plus 5 equals 14. So I wrote that down. So I added the ones together and that's 14. And then I needed to add the tens together. The tens in each number are 5 and 2. 5 groups of 10 and 2 groups of 10. So I knew that 5 groups of 10 was the same as 50 and 2 groups of 10 is the same as 20. So I added 50 plus 20 and I knew that equaled 70. Then, in order to get the answer, then what I did is I added the ones total and the tens total together. So I added 14 plus 70. And 14 plus 70 equals 84. Because if I have 70, then I'm adding one more group of 10 and 4 ones. One more group of 10 to 70 would make it 80, plus 4 ones would make it 84. So I found 84, the answer to 59 plus 25, by breaking apart each of the numbers into tens and ones and adding the ones together and adding the tens together in order to get my answer of 84 pieces. Now turn to page 430. Let's read the top section of the page together. It says, find 25 plus 17 in different ways. This friend here, he says, I used blocks. I made a 10. Let's see what he did. First, he drew 25 here, 2 10s and 5 1s. Then he drew 17, 1 10 and 7 1s. He made a 10 by combining the 5 here and 5 of the 7 1s over here to make another group of 10. So then he had 1, 2, 3, 4 10s and 2 leftover 1s. So he found that his answer was 42. That's how he drew it. He combined the 10s and the 10 that he made out of the 1s and the 2 extra 1s to get 42. He also did it in another way. He said you can add 25 plus 17 on an open number line. Add 10 and then break apart the 1s as easier numbers. So he started at 25. Then he added 10, and then he knew that 5 plus 2 equals 7. He knew that 5 plus 2 equals 7. And so he added 10 to 25, and then 7 more, another 5, and then another 2, and he got to 42 as his answer. So he solved it using an open number line and using a picture.
Look down at the Convince Me section of your page. It says, why can you use different strategies to solve the same problem? Pause the video while you take a minute to think about and answer this question on your own.
Here was the answer I put. I said because there are lots of ways to find the right answer to a question. Just like we just saw, we saw that there were 2 different ways to answer the same question. And guess what? There are even more ways than 2 to answer the right question. So as we move on, you can use whatever strategies you want to try to find the answers to these questions. Let's work on the guided practice questions together now. It says, find each sum. Solve any way you choose. Draw or explain what you did. The first question says 37 plus 24. Let's see how they solved it. They drew 2 pictures. First, they drew a picture of 37, and they drew a picture of 24. 37 has 3 10s and 7 1s, and 24 has 2 10s and 4 1s. It looks to me like they decided to make another group of 10. So they took 3 1s from over here and added them to the 7 1s over here to make a 10. So now how many groups of 10 do they have in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 groups of 10. And how many 1s? 1. So their answer was 61. Now let's look at this question. This question is 48 plus 10. I'm going to draw a picture to answer this question. First, I'm going to draw 48. 1, 2, 3, 4, plus 8 1s. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And if I draw a 10, then just a 10. How many 10s do I have in all? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And how many 1s? 8 1s. So my answer is 58. Another way I could have solved this is using an open number line, since we know how to count by 10s. On the open number line, I could have started at 48 and then jumped up by 10 to arrive at the answer of 58 as my answer. Those are 2 different ways that I could have solved that problem. Now look over to page 431 to start working on the independence practice pages. It's this page and the next page. You can use whatever strategies you know to answer the questions on this page and the next page. Great work!